Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Rotn movie reviews. Today we're reviewing the 2004 Dawn of the Dead, which I forgot was written by. This version was written by James Gunn. It was directed by Zack Snyder. Well, obviously based off George A. Romero's screenplay. I still say personally it is, even though it's one of the few things where I saw the remake first that I can remember that I actually will say I still like the original better. But gotta switch back over to this. With me as always is Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
Um, um, I don't know. I'm not. I'm sad.
Joining us as well is Angela. Angela, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
And is Will back?
Not
You know
yet.
how it takes those Eldritch abominations. How they got to go through multiple realms to get back.
Rotten.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tom Savini.
Yeah. Like I said, I just couldn't. I knew him from the face. Yeah, he plays the sheriff. That's like,
Yeah, but you said you thought it looked like him. It was him.
yeah, yeah. I said I couldn't remember how to spell his last name because I said I thought that was Tom.
Okay, it's a matter of not being able to.
Yeah, texted. Regardless. So basically, this being the reboot of the original Dawn of the Dead takes place predominantly in the mall, and you have the different survivors there. Obviously starring you got Sarah Pauly, Ving Rhames. Is that Mackay Pfeiffer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Makai
Mackay
it's
Pfeiffer.
Mackay Pfeiffer.
Jake Weber, Ty Burrell, who, it's really funny for him of seeing, like, I always forget that he's in this movie and he plays such a great asshole
Such a
and then
dickhole.
plays
Oh,
such a wholesome dude for the most part in Modern Family.
Mhm.
Like, so the dude's got acting chops, and you got Michael Kelly. Like, it's got a really good cast.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that Matt Frewer was in this.
Yep, yeah, he played Frank.
Poor Frank.
I still will say, of the two, I think since this
But
one,
this is
isn't
sad.
a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, like the original Dawn of the Dead was, that oh man, they have such a great
It
opening, and
did
I am
again, didn't
still
it? It
pretty
did
sure that
again.
this is the opening of this was what inspired the whole Raccoon City thing in, was it like the fifth Resident Evil movie?
Fifth one. Oh, let's see. Don't remember which one's the fifth one now.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was like
Yeah, like
Retribution or
I said,
something.
it took me a minute to remember what RE was.
Uh, okay. All right. I'm back.
Oh, hi.
So
But this is
I
sad.
will still say, while I don't hate this movie, my biggest gripe with it, other than it being bad decisions, the movie,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of the running zombies.
Ma.
It's never my thing. But we'll go across the board of like, okay, so did you like the movie? Is the question. You don't need to go super big into it. So give me one thing you liked about it, one thing you didn't. We'll start with Tier.
Uh, uh, it was. I didn't like it. Uh, One thing I liked about it was it ended, and everything I didn't like about it was the movie. Like a lot of this movie was fucking dark and sad, and just a shit ton of fucked up all the way around.
Just the way I like them.
Like I agree with Angela that these characters were more likable, and this is probably
Well,
why the reason I don't like it as much as I like the original.
that's why I said one thing you liked, one thing you don't like. You didn't need to fucking go into it.
I did. I gave you one thing I didn't like.
Angela?
It's Tier. He's going to go into it.
I like this movie because the characters are more likable. I don't like the fast zombies, like you said.
And Will.
Okay, like the movie. Overall, pretty good storytelling, and of course, the characters are likable. Soundtrack is kicking for the most part. Uh, Not a fan of the fast zombies and the constant redundant stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that got a little much.
Like I said, bad decisions. The movie.
Yeah,
Because like, okay, we're gonna get into my gripe. One of my big gripes of the whole thing. From everything we're aware of, they have home improvement supplies in the mall. Plus, they have at least one sports store that looks like it has hunting stuff. I mean, yeah, the guy in the gun store looked like he was probably like 300-400 yards away, but the fact that he wasn't just constantly picking off zombies was an idiocy. And then them not like taking some rope or cable, attaching it to an arrow, and having someone take a bow and just launching that whole thing to see if they could go get a line to him so that they could just, I don't know, take a freaking wheel thing to run along it with a damn basket
Zip
of
line.
goodies. Yeah, to do a zip line of it.
Yeah.
Like they had 3 good ideas and like 14 dozen bad ideas.
well,
I mean,
if they didn't have any bad, if they didn't have any bad ideas and make any bad decisions, there'd be no movie.
shit. I just realized something. The way they put that winch system up for the dog, that had to take them a while. Why not try to fire the arrow and whatnot,
Mhm.
yeah, huh? That was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, brother, I'm gonna guess that Proof from 8 Mile was Mekhi Phifer, and
Yeah.
yes, he was an idiot for trying to hold on to the kid.
Yeah, he wanted. Jesus. Again, they were likable, and that's probably the reason why I hate this one.
I mean, I will
It-
still say my favorite part in the entire movie was between Ving Rhames and Mekhi Phifer in the fucking bathroom when he's going over it, and he's like, all right, man, you want to have that? Go say 5 Hail Marys in the bathroom, wipe your ass, whatever's between you and God is there.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love the different ways Ving Rhames has played preacher. You know, Lord,
yes.
bring back Abby banging.
Bring back I'll be banging.
Ah.
But yeah, this one is sad.
I mean, I will still say the writing wasn't bad. They
Oh
had
no.
enough characters that were mostly likable. That I still like the fact that they weren't necessarily supposed to really be likable. But I mean, they kind of brought that up early on to like, well, you know, we got credentials for the helicopter, and he's like, and what are we doing? Traffic reports? We're thieves and looters, just like everyone else.
Yeah, but everybody had an arc, except for Dickweed, the one that was supposed to hold the fire door.
Yeah, he wasn't
You
supposed
know,
to have an arc, Steve.
yeah.
I kind of
Go ahead.
don't.
No, go ahead.
No, finish your thought, because I thought you were done. That's why I started talking.
Oh, I was saying, even the asshole security guard that started off as the asshole in the beginning and then eventually kind of warmed up to him. And
DJ?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, and I really loved how, in the end he died like a fucking hero. Okay, if I'm going to go out, I'm taking you bitches with me.
I liked how he started quoting the full freaking god damn it, the fucking magazines and whatnot, the relationships. When he's like, every relationship gives with trust.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
Ryan,
I'll still
when
say
they're-
this before we go into that, because like I know for anyone who can see the stream up that was the thumbnail. I still like this thumbnail. Like I've been having a lot of fun making these things just absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yes. I just love how Will's in the back, like, sometimes it's like,
I had to get him right, and that whole thing to where it covered the face but wasn't a massive cat head.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, my obviously my thumbnails aren't meant to be like perfect. They're meant to be comical predominantly to me.
That's how you make them.
I actually shared this one on Instagram.
Oh shit.
That's exactly how you make them
How
funny to
many
you.
times am I gonna get to be Sarah Pauly?
That's true.
And Tyr actually got to be a black man in this one.
I know. I'm amazed. Last couple ones, I was a white guy, and I was a woman at one point.
That was
Mind
the
you,
funniest
you're the least
one.
likable black guy, but you black guy.
Yeah. You know,
Well, I
feel
couldn't
sorry for
find
him.
many good stills for this one. This wasn't like Dead 7 or even the other Dawn of the Dead where there was just that good spot of the four characters.
Oh yeah.
Or of four characters, because this one had exponentially more.
It's kind of too bad you couldn't find a picture with chips in it. You could have made Will.
That dog.
Oh, the dog.
Next, he's gonna pull up a fox, and I can be Dog Cat Fox.
Mm-hmm. Will's final form is he just absorbed Dog Cat Fox. That's why Scribe's on the moon. He's keeping him away from Will.
Because like there's just a plethora of bad choices in this one. Like when they decide they're gonna leave. Oh, we're driving out and these are freaking shuttle buses still, but extremely difficult to move. And they're gonna have a fuck
Fast,
ton
yeah.
of, well, they're not gonna move fast, but they're gonna have a metric fuck ton of torque. So they're like, oh, well, even though we have a plow on the front of this one, and why they just didn't all get into one is fucking beyond me. Yeah, it'd be a little cramped. It'd be exponentially easier to move and to maneuver. But we're
And a
gonna
lot easier to
stop.
defend.
We're just gonna
Yeah.
stop in the middle of it instead of just fucking trucking forward and going over everything. Like you don't stop until you have to. Like you have to
Yeah,
play the can't
and there
stop,
was
won't stop.
there was no amount of crowd that they could have had that would have stopped that much torque off a diesel pusher.
Oh yeah.
Even
What-
without a
what-
plow blade on the front, you put the plow blade on the front, and like, yeah, that crowd's not moving them.
What they should have done with that one is they should have put the plow blade on the front, and they should have angled everything slightly.
Mhm.
That way, it would have been much harder for them to grab onto.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
just slight angles.
With BG saying, you know, it's like with the the slow zombies, their persistence killers, like that's actually very, very reminiscent of old school humans.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would just walk things to death.
Well,
No, like quite
it's same
literally,
in that.
we would slightly wound something, and then we would basically chase after it or walk after it until it was just finally so exhausted it could no longer outrun us for certain things.
Well, half of it is because some animals require they either breathe or run, and you can't do both.
Well, no, it's also the whole thing of a lot of them are going to run, and they're not going to have
Bleed
the
out.
stamina. Well, they're gonna either bleed out or they're not going to have the stamina for long distance running. They're not going to pace themselves, is what I mean.
Mm.
That's the reason why, like, if your cat gets out of your house, you shouldn't chase, or your dog, you shouldn't chase after them. You should walk after them. Because with a dog, they'll usually get bored. Same with the cat in a lot of cases.
Is that
But
true?
if you run, a lot of them think it's a game. Like a lot of dogs think it's a
they
game.
think they're playing.
Mm.
But otherwise, I'll still say like James Gunn had good writing. They didn't. It's always an issue I have with like every zombie movie. They're told, "Hey, aim for the head," and in so many instances, even when it's like one zombie, they like put 3 body shots in it.
Oh, that was
Alright.
one thing that I was gonna talk about because I knew you would bring it up during the chat. I think it's kind of supposed to be depicting how difficult it is to get a shot that you want off
Yeah.
when it's at that closer range.
I was going to think more. Everybody's not target shooters, and people were frantic.
Well, there's that too. But I mean, if you think about it, a gun is supposed to be a ranged weapon.
That
Even
close
when
in
they're-
with a shotgun, getting a headshot's piece of cake.
Well, that was like, okay, we'll take the prime example. The one thing, or it's like, because they are fast, but they're not superhuman fast. And the zombies climbing the fence as they're going to return the generator back on. It's going slow enough that if you can't hit it in the head at fucking 7, not even 7 yards, we're talking like 7 feet, something's wrong. Like, I
do
get the
apologize,
distance
Painful, I
ones.
interrupted.
I'm not saying that it was. I'm not saying that it was well done. I'm just saying that that's probably a theory that they were.
Yeah. Well, like this one,
Cool.
I don't
Going on.
like this
So-
one, I don't harp on it too much, considering the fact, other than the cop and the security guards, majority of them aren't really firearms trained. They didn't go have the whole montage of them just practicing accuracy. The limited
Yeah,
amount of
because
ammo.
they didn't have a gun store in their mall.
Yeah, and it makes exponentially more sense that way. But what I mean by that is, like, you'll have typically the special forces type guys, and like on running zombies, obviously it makes sense that they're not going to be able to necessarily hit headshots. But like when we watch the original and there's the zombies like walking up, and you see the two guys go into a prone, or it's like not even a prone position, a on the ground laying position with their own hunting rifle, and they still can't fucking hit them.
Yeah, I just wrote that up to they must be a bunch of stormtroopers.
You have the stormtroopers. Ha.
I did like
But
how he
yes.
said it's like, for the sheriff, it's like you got to shoot him in the head. That's Tom Savini. You got the guy who played Peter. He gets to redo his thing for the When Hell Is Full, the Dead Will Walk the Earth, but gets to go and play a basically preacher. Basically a
That was
televangelist.
pretty awesome.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Like, I want to say most of them, of the cast that was alive from the original movie, made an appearance in there somewhere. I just can't remember where. I'll still say the zombie baby, because the zombie baby was actually a pretty original idea and pretty cool.
It was.
It was kind of ridiculous,
Oh, definitely.
but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was creepy. It was, honestly, if you really think about it, it's a terrifying thought. But
Mm-hmm.
It was
Still.
born dead. Yeah.
no, it was born undead.
No, it's born dead. To be dead, you have to be alive, and it wasn't alive. It was born dead. It had the infection in vitro, so it was dead.
Well, I mean, it was alive for a little bit. It died in utero and then came back.
Mummified.
That's creepy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just because it was undead before it was born doesn't mean.
Yeah, that still was that was creepy. Creepy.
Because then my
creepy.
next gripe was basically the whole fact of like, okay, we're going to go into this gun store and we're just going to pick up a bunch of pump action shotguns. It's like, none of you thought to like load up mags for an AR or an AK and use that as your primary weapon.
Yeah, just mag dump. Well,
Well, I mean, they're barricaded in a gun store. They're not dealing with the pressures of immediate hunger, and everything. Clean the place out.
Yeah.
Get the guns you're comfortable with. Get a few extra guns. There gotta be backpacks and stuff like that. Fill magazines. Fill backpacks. Be ready to truck out as much firepower as you can.
mhm.
even if you can't find backpacks, you were in a sporting goods store. There were duffel bags in that bitch.
Well, he's talking about when they're in the gun shop itself, and a lot of those things still have some form of bag. That's like most gun stores still have some form of bag, or even soft gun cases that you can easily throw over your shoulder and just load that bitch with ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying you don't leave the mall yet until you have
Well,
as
when
many duffel bags as you can.
in
grab.
that situation, when they left the mall, they were going on the rescue mission because Nicole got stupid about the dog. Which honestly, someone should have knocked her the fuck out.
All right, but I understand from her point of view why she did it. She had lost her mother, her brothers, and she had just lost her father. And that dog probably was the only consistent thing in her life.
No, she also had the one security guard.
Yeah, she had him too, but still. I mean, I'm pretty sure she'd want to name them Chips.
It was just Chip, not Chips.
Well, Chip.
I'm pretty sure it was Chips.
Sword.
But still was sad.
The
But she'd already had
got-
demonstration that the zombies were going to leave the dog alone.
the thing that
Wait a
got
minute.
me,
So many abortion jokes with that one
it is
because
Chips.
Tears Block.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Angela.
Well, first it is Chips, not
Oh.
Chip.
I could have sworn it was just Chip.
Secondly, I would think that I would have, as soon as the dead baby's daddy said that he didn't want me to come and check out his wife after he's been so freaking freaked the fuck out. That should have been the first clue that somebody needed to go and check out what was going on, and that a gun should probably be with them.
And that it probably should be more than
Yes.
one person.
It
Yeah,
should have been
Brett-
more than one person.
Okay, I will say this, going through some of the, not the bloopers necessarily, but like the extra trivia and whatnot. Apparently, when Ving Rhames heard about them making this remake, he tracked down the producers himself to be in the film.
I would imagine so.
And then apparently,
Nice.
when they were doing the him getting stitched up from his arm getting cut, they brought in an actual nurse to do a prosthetic in there. And because of Zack Snyder, because she misunderstood the directions from Zack Snyder, she accidentally did puncture Ving Rhames' skin and stitched the prosthetic to his arm.
Oof.
Whoops.
And
Oh
he didn't
my
say anything
God.
until the scene was done filming.
And then probably
That blood was
somebody else had to
actual
come
real.
up.
Was actual real. The other cool thing is apparently, at least two of the zombies that were missing appendages were played by actual amputees.
Wow.
Okay. Not bad.
That's
Movie
pretty cool.
mistakes.
Always nice when they do stuff like that. It's very cool.
All right, so there is a that y'all probably don't know this, but there is a scene from a famous book called The Romance of Three Kingdoms where one of the strongest characters in that book is getting surgery, where the guy is cutting open his arm while he's playing a game of Chinese checkers. I forget the actual name of the game. And he's just calmly doing it. And watching Ving Rhames do that really reminded me of that scene. And I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder took that shit from that one because the look on Ving Rhames, like, yeah, it hurt. Like, it doesn't even fucking hurt.
Okay, apparently, during the final part when they're in the elevator and you hear CJ say, "I like this song," that was improvised, and there wasn't even music playing when they filmed it.
I am so
I
glad
still
'cause
love
I
the fucking
cannot
song they put
see
in there
him.
for that.
It was great. It was great. I liked that song, but there's no way that that dude liked that song.
Oh, it's entirely plausible.
Okay, I'm looking at the movie continuity artists and whatnot. We have 39 mistakes. When Anna hands over the file to Cora, Cora grabs the file on the side. When it cuts, she grabs it from the top of the file. And that's in the beginning of the film.
Oh, for the
Uh,
nurses, yeah.
Yeah. Factual error. When the survivors are first in the mall, you see a store called Roots with Canadian Beaver logo. While the movie was filmed in Canada, it was supposed to take place in the US, where Roots has a different logo. Another factual error. While they were eating, there's a box of chicken labeled PFK, Polentine Fritter a
Poutine.
la Kentucky. Poutine Fright a la Kentucky, a French equivalent of KFC. The film
Oh.
takes place in the U.S., but was filmed in Canada, where most products are labeled in English and French. Another one is at the beginning of the movie when Anna is escaping from her husband, she crashes into the bathroom and in the process pulled down the shower curtain and the railing. The shot is from above the show the curtain railing landed on top of her. But when the shot is complete, switches to show
The shower curtain's
to
still there.
yeah, both the railing appears to have propped back up against her right shoulder. Right. The gang of survivors goes to Andy's gun shop. One of them shoots a zombie and proceeds to fall to his knees. When the scene cuts, the gang is then to uh then to the charging zombie, and the shot zombie falls again. So he dies twice. That's nice.
Oh, apparently one of the things that hurt this movie as well was the budget being dramatically slashed because you know what came out a year prior? It was a zombie movie from Universal?
But
House of the Dead.
an Uwe Boll, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uwe Boll doesn't make movies. He makes tax write-offs.
Okay,
And he
I
challenges
gotta
people to boxing matches.
correct myself on miscorrecting you. Here, that would be poulet. Whatever.
Poulet à la frite, fruity à la Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Which is literally Kentucky Fried Chicken in French.
I fucking don't know, Angel. I don't speak
No,
French.
I'm telling you, it is literally Kentucky Fried Chicken in French.
Poutine is something else, and it's delicious.
Oh, okay. You guys want to
Yeah.
hear a really funny fucking trivia thing?
Go ahead.
So apparently James Gunn claimed that he received a massive amount of backlash, plausibly even death threats, when assigned to this film. Most of the hate messages claimed the hack who wrote the Scooby-Doo movies shouldn't be in charge of Dawn of the Dead.
X it out.
Hey.
I wouldn't be
Oh.
surprised if him having that. I'll definitely say from what I saw, like the second Scooby-Doo movie was trash. I didn't hate the first.
But the first one was trying to be a Scooby-Doo movie. The second one was trying to cash grab off the Scooby-Doo.
Sabu and Terry Funk were both insane, brother. No.
Another one, when Norma places the case on the table, Anna says she shall go check on Luda while placing a box horizontally in the case. When it cuts, the box is lying vertical.
Yeah, it's probably
Is
because
the
I've had to
baby-
film the scene several times, and
Yeah.
they're not always going to have
Baby
everything
coming
perfect.
now, BG?
Oh, nice. That or one of his kids got, or I don't think it's his daughter because I think she just recently had one. I think it's one of his
I think it's his
boys.
daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats. I have to tell the fuzzball congrats.
I'm trying to find out if the delivery is happening now, or if BG just realized the other.
When Michael breaks the safety glass for the axe, some of the glass remains intact. When it cuts, all the glass is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there's a spot where you can see the camera crew and the reflection of a door handle.
See, one thing I really in movies makes no sense is how movies universally get safety glass wrong.
Doesn't it shatter upon impact?
It can.
It can, but you're not going to get it depends on the safety glass because auto safety glass is different from some of the other. But it's not going to react at all until you overstress it, which usually requires like pinpoint stress or a overwhelming force. And then what you get in most cases is basically a cubifying crack shatter pattern. Because once you've overstressed it, all the bonds start shattering.
I'll still say this for 2004. I wouldn't have mind being a zombie extra in this movie. They were paid $8.50 an hour.
Not bad.
Hell yeah, that'd been fun as shit to go through and do that.
Oh yeah. Say it'd be fun to be an extra in a lot of different horror zombie movies. So
Oh yeah.
you hear that, Uncorked Entertainment? Call me.
I do like though how many nods they did have to the original. Like I said, other than the some of the stupid decisions and what they did, majority of my main issue was the running zombies. Otherwise, it's not a bad movie. I mean, you got Kenneth for Ving Rhames' character, but that's actually kind of a nod to Ken Foree, who played I'm probably butchering his last name, who played Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the woman's store called Galen Ross, which was the nod to the woman who played Fran in the original one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
got
they
one
had some
thing
fun
that
ones
really,
in there.
and one thing that really drives me nuts with this movie, aside from the
Running zombies.
aside from the running zombies, yeah, uh, all the different teases with the fountain water and everything.
Yeah.
They contaminated that water 6 days from Sunday. Keith actually gouged his arm and fell into it, and nothing came from it. It's like, come on. Total cock tease.
Yeah, they should have had like some epic kill at the fountain or something.
Well,
Except for that one.
specifically should have had, because she was cleaning contaminated blood off of herself in there, and he fell into the water after that with an open wound.
Mm-hmm.
That alone should have done something there. And then, of course, you have the shooting the zombie in the water. And I mean, it felt like a tease that they just used that for effect rather than actually, they made enough of it in shooting it that it seems like it was supposed to be a plot point for something that happens to somebody. And then they just dropped it.
For that one, it seemed more like, considering the fact that part of the crew and whatnot, when filming some of this, had to have like plastic sheets in front of them because of how much blood and gore was using. It did seem like they wanted it to be a bit more of a gore fest when the zombies or someone was killed.
Interesting. A really stupid question. That. Now that I think about it, every zombie that fell down that hole should have broke their legs.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is when he broke his legs, that if that drop it was enough to shatter his legs, then it should have shattered their legs.
He already had a sprained ankle.
Oh.
Or it's like he already had an injured leg and whatnot. But yes, if it hurt him and hurt because it didn't hurt all of the people that went down there.
Yeah, unless
Yeah, but but my issue is like they're zombies and they're not necessarily climbing down. They're just dropping feet first.
Yeah, but you got to figure like a alcoholic who's drop dead drunk would have been less likely to get hurt on that fall too than your average sober person. So it could just be the complete lack of an effort at self-preservation, because a lot of falling injuries are things like bracing yourself for the fall.
Well, that killed that theory, but again, if there weren't fast moving zombies, this I don't know.
Again, the whole thing of like they're supposed to be decaying. They used 3 different kinds of blood to show of like how they were either freshly dead, been dead a while, or been dead an extreme long while. And the ones that have been dead an extreme long while should be shamblers. Like I understand he wanted the zombies to run at full speed to avoid the comic inspiration given by the slow shuffling undead, but it was supposed to be, the inevitable slow death moving towards you. Like that's what the shambling zombies are supposed to
That's the
show.
point of those.
Yeah, and you can definitely, you can do faster zombies if you do it right. And that's exactly one of the key points is it's got to be the fresh ones. And the more they decay, the slower they've got to get.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitable? Yeah. Deadly? Yeah. But, this one's been dead for 3 weeks. It's not sprinting.
It shouldn't even be moving, to be honest with you. Rigor mortis sets in and everything should go stiff.
Oh, as soon as
Yeah, but rigor mortis does come out too.
Okay, if we're
Yeah, I
gonna,
was gonna say rigor mortis.
Not permanent.
hold on. If we're gonna get from what I'm aware of, and this might be slightly pushed because of TV and whatnot, but for what I'm aware of, if rigor mortis fully set in, they shouldn't be able to move. Period. Because as soon as they would, and they'd actually put enough force, they're snapping muscle.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Unless they stop moving for long enough for it's like I think it's like 12 to 24 hours after that, rigor will finally go past, and then it'd be pliable again.
All right. So for Big Bertha, because we never get a name if I'm not mistaken. She should have fell and tripped on her own.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we can assume that.
Well, she was too freshly dead for rigor to have set in.
No. My thing is, all right, so we can assume that she was hobbling. At her weight, she should have, the zombie should not have been able to move all of that with the same motor function.
Basically, it should have been a very slow, freaking stumbling motion.
Because all right, so my theory is if you put on a fat suit, you know how much force and how much pressure and whatnot to use, correct? Or pain and whatnot sets in. You have that foreknowledge, so you're not going to take fast movements. You're going to walk slowly.
Well, fat suits don't have the same amount of weight as they're mimicking. So people who put on a fat suit to look fat don't actually understand motion dynamics at the higher weight.
Well, I wasn't even trying to say. I'm just using the fat suit as the example of the weight differential, if you will. A fat person isn't running at the same speed a skinny person would be running. And she's running at skinny person speed. With all the weight is still there, the mass is still there. It's dead mass, but it's still mass. She should have fallen or broken something.
Unless the point they're trying to make is that the disease takes over completely once that sets in.
Well, the overwhelming persistence, and the reason why humans can't do some of the superhuman things that you hear about all the time is because we've got so many built-in limiters.
Yeah.
And the limiters are there out of self-preservation. Because you hear stories about like mom or grandma pulls a car off a kid, and what you don't know is all the injury she does to herself in the process, which if it's a one-off is usually pretty quick recovery. You're aching and everything the next day, and maybe you got a strain, but you kind of bounce back from it. Zombies don't have the limiters. They also don't have the repair potential. So they could be, I could probably do a 100-meter sprint.
You're gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful. Mm-hmm.
It would hurt like hell, and I wouldn't be able to walk the next 12 hours, at least.
As you are now, but if you were a zombie, you wouldn't know it.
Right. But if I was a zombie, I wouldn't have that pain self-limiter, the damage self-limiter on that and everything. And it would just be, oh, hey, 100 yards? Oh, let's do a 5,000-meter dash.
It's like Andy. Andy should have not been that strong. Andy was near death. He was near starvation. He should have been weaker. He looked emaciated when they finally get on the foot. When they finally, he looked emaciated.
Yeah, but if your source of energy and motivation and drive is different, even emaciated, he could have. I mean, it would have been his body cannibalizing resources, but he could have put in some pretty amazing feats of speed and strength in the moment. With as emaciated as it was, it might be a permanently harming situation, but he could have done something in the adrenaline rush. So
Yeah, but
again, you take off those limiters, and if the body's being pushed by a different set of drives and a different set of intentions, even in that condition, now you'd expect to see more rapid breakdown of function and everything. But even in that condition, he would have been able to do a lot more physical force in the short term than
all
the
right.
average person
You're
standing on the
trying
wayside.
to apply living human physics to undead.
Well, you still have to apply that because that much blood loss, he but he loses the blood. Blood is necessary for a lot of bodily functions. Without blood pumping, without that oxygen, in our bloodstream, lubricating shit, it's the body shouldn't work like that. Like the fast zombies don't make
The
sense.
body shouldn't be moving if you're dead.
Yeah, slow zombies don't make sense by that standard either, Tier.
Well, I always like the Walking Dead zombies. At least they started to decay and break down. They became immobile at some points.
Good for you. This wasn't The Walking Dead.
I know. I'm just saying. Jesus Christ! Don't bite me, Andrew.
I might. You're
Ah!
pissing me off.
I don't want to turn into a zombie.
I'm not a zombie.
Wait a minute. I'm undead. If I bite you, you'll turn into a lich.
Do
Yeah.
liches
Oh,
bite?
here's another funny one. Apparently, this wasn't obviously the usual kind of film for Sarah Polly, but she was sold by the producer Eric Newman's pitch of, "This is going to mean suicide for your street cred." And Polly said that was the greatest pitch she'd ever heard. I'll be back in just a moment.
That's one way to put it.
Also, Mr. Scott, pineapple, pepperoni as well, please.
Mr. Scott, you and me is gonna have to meet in a dark alley somewhere, and I'll be hobbling out of that one.
He's gonna, you know what? He's gonna go full Eldritch Abomination on you. He's gonna walk in a cat, and all you gonna see is his shadow and tentacles.
Hey, then you'll have to kill me too, because pineapple and pepperoni is best.
I don't mind pineapple and pepper pizza. I don't mind it. I won't order it. I'll eat it. I'm not gonna say it's an abomination, but it's an abomination.
It's more evil than I am.
And no, that's fucking scary.
It is not. It is delicious.
You're about to go. Your stream is about to get sidetracked into culinary abominations.
No, actually, your stream is about to get sidetracked into Jason Voorhees' territory. Yes, Jason was always ahead of people, brother, even as he got older. Maybe it's a Jason zombie.
Well, I mean, they always want to try to break it down scientifically when it's like all of these things are meant to have a supernatural element into them as well, because obviously once the body dies, if we're going to look at what happened with with what happens after a person dies, decay would set in, and majority of them's stomachs and whatnot would start to have been ripped open from the gas and the stuff not repairing and whatnot from the acid and all your other microbiome and whatnot in your stomach.
They would have been real bloaters.
Yeah.
But that's a good explanation for why you have the fat zombies in most video games and whatnot that spew acid.
And to go off Clown being like pineapples and affront to the pizza gods, nah, man, if you're gonna do pineapple on pizza, you got to do pineapple and bacon.
No, it gotta be Canadian bacon or Spam.
Nah, dude.
You gotta be a Hawaiian pizza.
Pepperoni. Pineapple and pepperoni.
Pineapple and pepperoni's not bad, but if you've never done bacon, not Canadian bacon, not ham, and the pineapple. It's a highly recommended.
You know what I want? I want bacon flavored bacon.
So bacon.
No, it's bacon flavored bacon. There's a difference.
He
About
just
bacon
wants
jerky.
super thick bacon.
I
I've
like
had
bacon jerky.
jerky. It's gross.
It is some of the tastiest shit ever.
It's too much bacon.
Every time I go to Walmart and I see the bacon jerky,
I mean, otherwise, if you ever want a pizza that's like something different, if you get it with the white sauce instead of the regular pizza sauce,
Oh,
the
so
Alfredo
bad.
sauce.
the Alfredo sauce, go chicken, bacon, spinach, and tomato.
Oh,
Or
that is
tomato.
good. Chicken
It doesn't
Alfredo
even
pizza
have to be
rocks.
Alfredo.
But no,
though.
you add the bacon in there. I like adding onions as well. But yeah,
Spinach Alfredo pizza rocks.
yeah, you add the spinach, then add the freaking tomato in there as well. For the longest time, I was so against like cooked chunk tomato, but that's because pizza had a weird sauce for a while that I definitely didn't like. But like, when they're putting fresh diced tomato on a pizza that's gonna get the Alfredo sauce, whatnot. Like, personal opinion, I think it's pretty good.
Mm.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I mean, I'll usually like add mushrooms as well, but like it's actually kind of funny. It's like when I add the Alfredo sauces, or it's like when I do the Alfredo sauce pizza, is when I start adding exponentially more vegetables.
That was spinach Alfredo pizza and then tossed shrimp on it.
Peter,
Surprisingly
you
good.
just don't. Oh, brother, you just don't like pineapple.
I really like pineapple, but
Sorry.
kind of sugary doesn't exactly like me.
I mean, like I haven't tried sardines and
Anchovies.
anchovies. That's it. I wouldn't be
Sardines
necessarily
are tasty.
opposed to it, but I've never tried sardines either. Just a lot of stuff's not really my thing.
I haven't done anchovies on pizza. I've done anchovies in Caesar salad.
I don't think I've ever had anchovies. And if I did, it's probably been in a Caesar salad. And I just
Yeah, if you've had true Caesar salad, you've had anchovies.
see, I don't know how true a Caesar salad at like Red Lobster.
I would expect it to be fairly authentic there.
Okay. Then I guess
Mm.
I've had it. And they're not bad.
Oh damn! I didn't realize that after this movie, the year after, Romero put out Land of the Dead. But apparently for this one, they were actually able to give it an R rating instead of the X or NC-17 that the original Dawn and Day of the Dead's got.
Which is so weird given all of the nudity and
Like, yeah, it falls into that whole thing of. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the nudity, and you have to remember, freaking, there were slasher films that were PG-13. I want to say back in the day that had tits in them.
Do you know it's a movie called Wizards? And
But what I was gonna say, you also have to remember that as time changed, what's considered taboos change as well.
that's true. Mm, mm, mm,
that's like I
mm,
don't
mm,
think that the never ending story would be PG-13 today.
Probably not.
But it was PG-13 during the 80s because the Southern Oracle is
Oh man, I didn't even realize this when Ken's doing his televangelist thing. He says the dead walk the earth and blames it on, it's like sex out of wedlock. Monica and Steve killing unborn children. Zombie baby. It's like man on man relations. Glenn.
Okay.
And the zombie apocalypse, and you specifically are to blame.
I mean, they blame that on like everything.
I hope the new what's his name, the guy that play that he stayed on the dock at the end.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, I know
You
he
the
died, but
gunshot that you heard at the end was supposed to be him killing him.
ah,
I didn't think he kept a gun there.
He did.
Yeah, they made sure he had it.
Yeah,
So
they were rather conspicuous about him having a gun at the end.
okay.
Would have expected you to notice that.
I'm happy he didn't, have to turn.
Who would survive the zombie apocalypse? Not honestly. In the current day and age, it'd be exponentially easier to, because especially in the States, there are a lot of people that actually would understand what it is. The problem we would have would be quite literally the potential of people on the left being like, zombies get rights too.
Yeah, that would be the first major.
I mean, we're still not
obstacle.
talking about like what happened in the one movie, The Cured, to where, there is a zombie apocalypse, but they actually find a cure. And as long as they haven't gone past a certain point, they can bring those who were zombies back to being human. The only problem, they all now have PTSD from what they did as a zombie, because most of them remember it.
Mm.
Trying to remember if that's the one or if it was another one where they had basically a treatment / cure, but it wasn't like a one and done. It was you had to keep getting doses of it or you degrade again.
You were talking about um Dead Rising.
That or Planet Terror.
Wasn't Planet Terror. I know that. I'd have to check on Dead Rising.
Yeah, it's a video game. That the whole premise between zombie.
No,
No,
I'm
he's talking about a movie. Because I know,
I didn't know.
Planet Terror, I want to say, if I remember correctly, in Planet Terror, yeah, they had the gas that was staving off the zombie thing for the soldiers and whatnot. And like I said, I know for The Cured, it wasn't a constant dosage type thing. And then in Warm Bodies, it was somehow, love was able to restart the heart.
Yes.
Well, technically, they were alive.
A reverse Romeo and Juliet story.
Well, I live in to answer your question, Mr. Scott, I live in a harbor town and I know how to fish.
I know how to fish too.
And I am very close to a marina. So the odds are I'm stealing somebody's boat and shipping out.
The catch is that managing one of those boats is not as easy as the people who know what they're doing make it look.
I mean,
I'll figure it the fuck out, and I know how to paddle.
The other big thing that a lot of people don't realize when you want to talk about the zombie apocalypse is you have to look at like how it happens, like how it spreads. If it's a
bite, you're fine.
Well, yeah, well, I'm saying like for how it starts is in like how the apocalypse starts. If you look at a lot of them, like something like of how this happens in Dawn of the Dead or the original Night of the Living Dead, or even like Resident Evil 2 when it finally gets out and into the city. All of that theoretically, depending on where it is, could easily be stopped.
And I will be out on a boat someplace waiting for it to be stopped.
Yeah, and you got to factor in for like you and me, Michigan. If it happens in the winter, zombie apocalypse, the whole thing is called the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, as well, if we're talking about it depends on the winter as well, because if the winter is too cold, and that zombies are going to freeze, and quite literally, it's going to be the weekend, and you don't even have to necessarily shoot all of them. You can just use a baseball bat.
Yeah. Well, if the weather once the weather gets hot, you still have the rate of decay going up because bacteria propagate in heat.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say that's honestly, the other thing too. As I said, that's a good point. Like, it's all going to depend on that whole thing. You have to find that Goldilocks zone of where zombies will last longer. That's why that has to, for this thing to be an actual thing, it would have to be a supernatural thing and not just strictly a virus.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if it's a virus, we're fine. Like one good winter, we're good.
Well, you take into account all the stuff that you were talking about,
Yeah,
things
rigor
like rigor
mortis.
mortis and everything like that. If it doesn't have a supernatural element, shut yourself in for the weekend, and pretty much anywhere in the U.S., it's going to be a problem for the zombies to keep moving. Because the body will start cannibalizing itself. And the fact
Or
that we are living is part of what keeps all the different bacterial balances more or less in check, and decay would run rampant otherwise.
I mean, the smell would be fucking horrid. But close your windows. No, the smell of decay would be fucking horrid. But like you said, rigor mortis, bacterial stuff that grows, natural decay, shit like that. It's a weekend trip. Oh shit, zombies are here. Shut your doors, lock it up, and just call people. Hey, stay inside.
Yeah. Zombie day, stay inside. Michigan in the winter, they'd freeze overnight. Arizona in the summer, they would you'd have zombie jerky in a day or two.
You'd have rapid decay in the sun, and then fucking freezing at night.
Oh,
The
they
safe.
would dry out faster than they could decay.
Yeah, they
Oh
it'd be
shit! There you go.
places like California and Florida to where they would decay exponentially fast.
Yeah.
We'd have a shit ton of desiccated corpse. Oh god, Jesus Christ! This this would be fucking. I didn't think about it. It wouldn't. Zombie apocalypse, if it's a virus, wouldn't be scary. Oh, kind of sucks the fun out of zombie apocalypse. No, the whole
Fun
point was
of
on.
zombie apocalypse. Let's see. Two words that I never thought I'd hear together.
What fun is zombie apocalypse? Yeah, it literally does. Like, think about it. If it's like you said, if it's scientific makes you have all these scientific factors, not to mention you got carrion feeders that will go nuts.
Yeah.
It's a smorgasbord. It's literally a smorgasbord of carrion feeders who oh, I smell definitely decay. Let's go taste that shit.
But if you put
Yeah.
back in the supernatural element, it becomes absolutely terrifying because,
The protections of science instantly go out the window.
yeah, or at least are significantly diminished.
Yeah.
And
Oh well,
even if
they
you
don't care
get
about the cold.
the, hey, only the fresh ones can move fast, and then you've got slowly to the shamblers and everything. Okay, that's slow but certain death there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you only have to outpace them for a day and you're done, or for 5 minutes or something. They're going to keep coming until the body completely ceases to function. It doesn't matter if you get a 100-mile head start.
I like so there was a concept. I forget where it was. Like the zombies not necessarily congregate in hordes. They just hordes just kind of form when like enough zombies get together and they just start moving. It's like a stampede. It's a slow moving stampede.
They
Where
drift. They follow the predator prey dynamic, where they start to collecting in groups just as they encounter stuff, and then they will move as a flock instead of an individual.
yeah, and
Well,
they just get kind of forced along with the tide, and they just kind of get absorbed.
You were going to say, Angela?
nah, my joke will not land now.
Ha!
You guys cut me off.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's all good.
She's secretly
Would it?
plotting your demise.
She's plotting to bite me.
I wouldn't say it's all good if I was plotting his demise. That's a
No, she's
straight
not.
out lie. I would say something like fine or K or something like that.
Well, she's not
Okay,
plotting my
fair.
demise. She's plotting my revival. She's going to do the one thing I hate the most: make me live again.
Or
Oh
even
God!
more. Uh-huh.
Oh God! I have bodily functions. Oh God! I thought I got rid of those.
Ew. I don't want to know about your bodily functions, dude.
Well, again, if you're going to revive me, then I would have to have normal bodily functions now. Oh, I have to
No,
eat.
Tyr, you keep missing the facts that we're trying to tell you. You would not have normal bodily functions because you're dead.
No, no, Angela. I said you were, because I'm a lich. You would revive me, and that would be worse.
Uh,
Like,
Yeah,
what?
you can almost see the point going over his head, can't you, Angela?
uh-huh.
Oh, well, that.
I can't visualize for anything, and I can practically spot that one.
I'm being ganged on by the elderly. Oh, that's unfair.
Deal with it.
By the elderly. Wow.
That's sorry. I didn't mean
Now
that.
I might be plotting.
I
Now
didn't
I
mean
Cardinal
it.
might be
sin.
plotting.
It's a
Never call
the
a woman
cardinal
old.
the cardinal sin there, Tyr, bringing up a woman's age to her, unless it's to very
Angela,
specifically and deliberately understate it.
Angela, of all the times I've called you 20, I should get a pass.
And you just proved that I'm suddenly ancient as if you're feeling pissy. Why should you get a pass?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to sleep with both eyes open. I'm gonna
Gripping
have
your
to
pillow
have a
tight.
cat on guard duty. Huh?
So you're gonna sleep with both eyes open. So I said, gripping your pillow tight.
Every noise like Angela, that's
Exit
you.
light.
I'm gonna keep the flashlight on. I'm like, Angela, that's you.
Jesus,
It's
dude, you
gonna
Yes,
can't even get a
be
fucking
Rotn
simple
just
Metallica
bought you
rounds.
some time, Tyr. Maybe don't remind me.
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
it's gonna be 3 a.m. and you're gonna be able to spot his house from space.
It's gonna be like that kid walking into Sarah Pauli's house.
Oh God, no. Here, I'm here. Now you want to do one of these numbers? You gonna bash my door in with the axe? Here's Angela.
Wow.
Ah, quick tear while you're behind.
Yeah, because you were never ahead on that one.
Never. Run, Kier, save yourself.
Too late.
All the
Here's
other.
like rock bottom. I can break it.
There's still bedrock there. I can go down. Like, I haven't seen China yet. I'm fine.
Rock bottom, challenge accepted.
Rock bottom. My shovel hasn't started melting from the heat of the liquid hot magma. I'm good.
Rock bottom. Buh. I need to get to China.
No, I just thought it was funny that you didn't get a fucking Metallica reference.
I'm a big Metallica fan.
You still should have got the reference.
Well, I'm sorry.
And then, son of a bitch, fucking. Not any of you fucking tinnitus. One ear decides it wants to be like.
Don't trigger mine, Rotn.
See, the thing that's keeping me from noticing that is the noise coming from all y'all. So keep talking, please.
Okay.
What always gets me is when it's one ear.
Ugh.
But we can go back to this whole thing of like for Dawn of the Dead of what I put right in the beginning and whatnot. It's like one, always make sure you lock your doors. I'm gonna get rid of 4 and say include that into your car doors.
Yeah,
Like
that is one thing that annoys me in every movie, every TV show, every
Yes.
situation, and not a few internet videos. People not locking their doors, including their car door, and then having a bad outcome.
well,
I
there's
always
like the
thought-
one with the cyclist to where in Colorado to where apparently oh god. Have y'all seen
Yeah.
the aftermath of that one to where it's like he's talking to the cop and he's trying to get out of getting a ticket?
Yep, I saw
No.
that, and I still think it's bogus that they're basically saying that the ticket that he got and paid off to means that other charges would be double jeopardy because he broke several laws.
So I haven't heard
That
about
can be
that one. From everything I've seen of when the cops giving him the citation, everything like they still hadn't gone to court. From what
He's basically he had. I'm betting that considering his pocketbook, he's got good lawyers on his hands and probably not a little bit of favor with the DA.
well, the thing that's
And
going to kill
he
him as well.
He
and-
basically went in and paid the ticket like that weekend, kind of thing.
well,
And
he
then
wasn't given a ticket; he was just given a citation, which means he had to go to
paid
court.
he paid the citation right away, kind of thing.
As
and then
far as I'm
when
aware,
they
like I
actually
said,
looked-
what they gave him, it technically wasn't anything he could pay off because he kept trying to get out of it.
Well,
But
somehow
the kid was able to fight it because of him having the video footage.
right. Somehow he went in and he paid a fine on it, and then they actually took a look at it as far as the case and basically said, yeah, we can't charge him for, even though we can't charge him for anything else because he paid on this one, so charging him would be double jeopardy. Like, you just blew out all kinds of stacked charges and such as unconstitutional then,
Yeah,
because y'all love to just stack charges on
Mhm.
related charges and everything. And yeah,
But
what
going
he did was disorderly conduct, but it was a whole lot more than that.
But going back to the one thing, so it's like we had that whole thing of one, lock your fucking doors, folks.
Yes.
Two,
First thing you do when you get into the car, lock the car door.
two, have some form of defending yourself. I know not everyone can afford a gun, but you should have something, and it should be near you.
I got my bat next to me at all times.
Bat, machete, crowbar,
I got a tactical
An
cat.
umbrella.
umbrella,
I got it.
Lord.
sword.
I got a tactical pussy right here next to me. I'm fine.
Dude.
Pain.
What? What do you mean?
What?
That's her
you
place.
have something that's timid, since you know the actual thing for pussy is like isn't stand for vagina. It actually is an insult.
Yes, it's pusillanimous,
Yeah.
which means weakness. I'm hip with the lingo.
But then it's that whole thing as well, like for like the two of having those things and also train to use it. If you can have a gun, I highly recommend that. But also go out and get training with it. It doesn't
sent this to
mean
Will
you need to
earlier.
spend several hundred or $1,000 going to classes. It mostly means there are definitely some things you should practice, and dry fire practice is really good as well. And four, because of all the shit like this, mild paranoia isn't a bad thing.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean there isn't a monster under the stairs waiting to eat your face off.
Well said.
Yes, and his name is Will Forge.
Not supposed to be telling that to everybody.
You're gonna come upstairs, aren't you? don't want to get eaten tonight.
Because that's
Where
like
is
if
it?
I'd have been in that, and the Anne's position, to where it's like looking at the one thing and the guy comes up, he's just going to be pulling on the door handle.
Yeah. I dislike how fast they died in this. How fast they turned in this one. Um, in the original, it took a while for them to turn after they were
Mhm.
bitten.
Well, it seems to have varied a lot
Yeah, because
by
it
a
took
number of
Luda a
factors.
long time to turn.
Yeah, because I mean, you had a significant passage of time through that montage and everything, and they were doing all kinds of stuff in the mall, passing the time, and she was still alive and not turned because she didn't die until childbirth.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm
Doesn't
talking about the
it-
original.
Well, before childbirth.
Yeah,
But yeah, in the original, they definitely took longer.
Yeah.
Because Trooper took several fucking weeks. And he got bit like fucking twice.
yeah. It seems like there's a little bit of a plot convenience factor to the time frame of turning. Although, and you think about there could have been like an age, health, and wellness thing because
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say
uh,
I think it depends on like the severity of the attack.
she was
How much
morbidly
blood was,
obese,
how much
and
blood was lost. Um,
the guy, I forget his name, the girl's dad, he looks like
Yeah.
he had something going on before, health
He looked
wise,
like he was,
before he got bit.
or the moment they found him.
Yeah,
Like
because
he immediately started turning.
I look at Matt Frewer and I'm like, somebody really needs to feed him.
Wasn't he in
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man?
No, he played Trash Can Man in The Stand.
Oh yeah, that is him, isn't it?
Yes.
He's been in a bunch of different stuff.
But I've seen
There's also Max Headroom.
Yep.
I've seen cancer patients that look less emaciated.
He was also Moloch in the 2009 Watchmen.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was Watchmen. Let me see. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Dawn of the Dead. So before he was Joel in the remake, the second Lawnmower Man movie.
I
Oh
don't
shit,
think
I
so.
forgot. He did play Pestilence in Supernatural.
You might be thinking of Max Headroom here.
No, I'm definitely thinking of the second Lawnmower Man movie. Lawnmower
Well,
Man
I'm
2.
pretty sure Matt Frewer was in that, but
In cyberspace.
Well, apparently he was also the voice of Panic
Yep,
in
he was.
Hercules.
He was in that movie. I was right. He was Joel in that movie. Job, sorry.
Like I said, he's been in a lot of
Truer.
stuff.
I guess I didn't see that.
Because
You
it was a
didn't miss
direct to
much.
DVD. It was a direct to video remake, secondary movie. It didn't get a theatrical release, from my understanding.
He was also Principal Moss in National Lampoon's Senior Trip, which that was most likely a direct to video as well.
Him and my
He's
cousin
done
got the
a
same birthday.
metric fuck ton of stuff as well.
Oh yeah,
Done a lot of voice acting.
he was Panic in Hercules.
Yeah, I said that a bit ago.
Yeah, I definitely did not see that. But I watched Max Headroom the entire season that it was on. Um,
He was the voice of the Exterminator in the Itsy Bitsy Spider TV show.
He was the Pink Panther.
did not know there was an Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Mm, mm.
He was Sherlock Holmes in a number of TV movies.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I did not know that. Oh, Dead Man's Gone. Cool.
Who's in Miami Vice for 2 episodes? Not bad. Who's in Sesame Street for 2 episodes as Max Headroom? Who's in Indiana? I like that series.
I liked that show.
Oh, and going back to this, since I just saw the shotgun thing, I did like when they're going down into the garage before the whole pregnancy thing, and when
Shit, he
Ving
was
Rhames
just
is like,
Jacqueline Gargoyles.
and when Ving Rhames is like, you know how to use that thing, and CJ or not CJ, is the one guy's like, this is the dangerous end, right? Point at the end of the barrel, and
Uh-huh.
Ving Rhames reaches down and clicks off the safety, and he's like, now it is.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, that gave me a good giggle.
Yeah.
Though I want to say that should theoretically be incorrect because I think he was supposed to be using a Mossberg 870 and a Remington 870, not a Mossberg 500. Give me a second. I will find out. Continue talking or whatever.
Mm-mm-mm. What other continuity errors?
Okay,
When
yeah, it was
Vivian
actually a
bites.
500.
Oh, let me see. That's kick ass. So when the little girl Vivian,
Uh-huh.
wait a minute, where is it? I just
Yeah,
had
that was one of those
Uh,
things that they actually did a little more for Japan by having like a little blonde girl that would tear your throat out.
Yeah, when Vivian bites Lewis, Anna grabs Vivian, and some of Vivian's hair hangs over Anna's hand. When it cuts, Anna's dragging Vivian off of Lewis by the hair. The hair is under Anna's hand. Let me see.
See, that's one thing too that kind of gets me. She's a nurse, and what's she doing with somebody who's biting the neck? Actually, trying to tear the person's throat open by pulling the biter off forcefully without doing anything about the teeth being closed.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, this one was a lot more gory, and there was some shots I had to turn away.
Really?
Yeah,
Seriously?
because I like these people. All right, when I would like a motherfucker, I'd like to see him get murderlated. But if I like you, I want to see you get murderlated. Like when the guy sawed the girl in half, she was inoffensive. She
Yeah.
was an airhead, but I didn't want to see her
They
die.
actually cut one of the scenes to where she talks about him, what's her name? Was it Nicole? Spending more time with the dog than actually helping because they didn't want to make her character seem really bitchy.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the guy with the boat, she was downright likable, and it was sad to see both of them killed because they were inoffensive.
Well, they couldn't keep all of the characters, and it's just like I said, a thing of horrible mistake or it's like a bad decisions. Hey, we've got a single zombie hanging on to the bus. All right, I'm gonna to stroke up the chainsaw. No, dude, just like get a stick.
Yeah,
And
that's what they should have
as it
had.
comes around, poke it in the head.
That's another thing that they should have had. They should have been using fucking melee weapons for the close up fights. I mean, when there's only like a few of them, melee weapons instead of wasting ammo. Like air raid the skull.
Well, you saw what happened when
Where am I?
Weber's
Bertha.
character tried to do that.
Yeah.
With the croquet mallet.
Well,
Almost ended
that's
died.
that's because he went with a croquet mallet, not realizing that it was wood, and he should have kept the crowbar.
He definitely should have kept the crowbar.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd been even funnier if instead of grabbing that, if he'd have found a machete and been like, swing that thing and cut off part of it, and then went down and been like, oh, okay, that worked.
Hmm.
That would have been very Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Also, funny thing about this movie as well was Starbucks didn't want to be in there. A couple different companies did, so instead they called the coffee shop Hollowed Grounds.
Hmm.
I love that.
Well, you know, it's also really funny as well, as if you know anything in folklore, hallowed grounds are all supposed to be like a sanctuary or a place of protection.
It's supposed to be holy land. Oh,
Well, yes, hallowed grounds are places that have been blessed.
But the fact they went with that as well was pretty comical.
lays up more of the religious themes.
Yep.
Again, I wish Grandma would have lived to the end. I like Grandma. The old lady that got killed by Makai Pfeiffer's card. That's what I call Grandma.
Andre.
know who you're talking about. Believe it or not, your codes are not that difficult to unravel here.
Okay, then tell me who is Nurse?
Who's what?
Who is Nurse then?
Nurse?
Yeah,
I would have said Sarah Polly's character.
he knows.
What?
I said, God damn it, you know. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't difficult.
I have to come up with a new cipher.
Tear out here being stupid.
They're out here being bored and dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But really quickly, in all honesty, I dislike this because a lot of the characters I like die. And in the end, it's not that hopeless feeling where they could make it and they're going to try. It's they land on that fucking island and they're fucked.
Yeah, the land on the island was kind of unnecessary. But what, Angela?
That is the other thing aside from the fast zombies that I think of. I prefer having the possibility that they escaped and they found some deserted place where there was no one.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just wait when next year when we do Day of the Dead and the Day of the Dead remake, we might even have to throw in the sequel to Day of the Dead remake, which I have yet to watch.
Ugh.
And hey, the Day of the Dead remake has Ving Rhames in it as well.
Sweet.
Nice.
It also has Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll still say, because I've seen it before, being granted it's been a long time, I did not hate the character he plays.
Ving Rhames?
I
I did not hate the character he plays either.
And the Day of the Dead remake.
Oh, I don't.
But I mean Nick Cannon's character.
I actually have not seen Day of the Dead remake or original, so this will be a new one for me.
Yeah, I want to say that I've seen him, but
Oh, apparently there was a 2006 remake of Night of the Living Dead as well that was just it's supposed to be like one of the 3D movies. I don't think I want to watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3D movies tend to.
No, it's just got like
It's
the 3D
more about,
effects and whatnot.
yeah, that's the problem, is it's more about they tend to lose um like sacrifice the story for the 3D effect.
Easy effects.
Yeah.
And I watch movie for story. If the story isn't good, I don't care what your effects look like.
I'm trying to remember what movie they did something like that with, to where it's like the adding the 3D effects just happened to be like a cool thing to add, but it wasn't even actually like something they had planned. It's just like, oh, we can do these couple of things in that situation. 'Cause I'd heard about it and I can't fucking remember. But yeah, the remake of the Day of the Dead has no bearing on this movie either. Like quite literally, it's like all of Romero, like majority of Romero's, other than I think Diary and Survival of the Dead. I don't know where Land of the Dead's supposed to be exactly. I want to say it is. No, Land of the Dead is still of the Dead universe, but like the remakes of, I think it'd be like the second Night of the Living Dead really doesn't have any effect into it, but the Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead remakes are in their own separate universes as well.
Cool.
That's not bad.
Check the
Yeah.
messages in Discord.
I'm not the biggest fan of Mina Suvari, brother.
And I'll still say for like the Dead movies and whatnot, I'm still not the biggest fan of Return of the Living Dead series. Like I know there's Return of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. I think they even have some more sequels after that, but it's like that's one of those ones to where it's like, okay, like this isn't just like hopelessness. This is like the world's dead. The world's ending because there's no way to legitimately beat this thing. Like it's not supposed to leave you with a feeling of hopelessness. It's just supposed to be, no, you're not surviving.
It's
No
just
one
supposed to be
survives.
hopeless. Thanks for the warning. I won't watch those.
See, and I'm not bugged by the hopeless movies either. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, for that one, it's like, it's the one whole thing where it's like the zombies can talk, so you keep hearing them saying brains.
Oh, that's
and
where the
more
brain thing
paramedics.
Send more paramedics.
That though is still a classic cinema line right there.
Oh, yes.
Well, we get into the reason why they crave brains and want to eat brains.
Get that screwdriver out of my head.
Get that goddamn screwdriver out of
No.
my head.
No. No.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one thing that I'm all on board with Romero. A headshot to a zombie should be the
Well,
end of the train.
I'll also say this because like there is a thing to get the zombies to die. That's where it's like I wasn't the biggest fan of the, like I said, the Return of the Living Dead series, and it's like the graveyard scene in Resident Evil 2 movie, to where it's like you have decomposed bodies that are then being re-brought up, because like the first one in Return of the Living Dead is predominantly skeleton, but somehow has eyes and a brain and can talk. Like it doesn't have muscles, but it's still up and moving. It's like, dude, this is, you're saying it's a virus. This doesn't work.
Yeah. Even with supernatural aspects, you got to draw the line somewhere. And,
Yeah, like if
underlying mechanical capability. Bones
like,
don't move lacking the muscular input.
Unless it's pure fucking magic.
Yeah. Good old fashioned skeleton magic.
So it was Rotten's magic.
So the question's going to be, in 2 weeks, do we want to do the actual Thanksgiving horror movie that came out last year, or do we want to do the sequel to Thanksgiving?
Well, it's too.
Your stream.
I say we do the horror movie first, and then we do the second Thanksgiving. It'll be closer to Thanksgiving when we do it.
Yeah. I was just putting it out there. I was like, we're going to watch them both. I was going to see if there's any general consensus of like the order.
I would do. Honestly, I would like to get the second Thanksgiving out of the way.
Thanksgiving. It's fucking hilarious.
I think she's more going for the spare me the prolonged anticipation of this torture.
Don't torture me with a good time.
I feel like we have a different definition of a good time.
Yeah, BG, it was a gas, but most people would still attribute it to like a virus, and the way it was, even with a gas, it would still have to be magic. Because it's that whole thing of reanimating a skeleton, but somehow having, it have eyes and a brain and a tongue, but being able to talk properly without lips, it wouldn't be able to do the P's and the S's.
Oh, you can do S without a tongue or without a lip.
Yeah. You still need the P, or still need them for the P's and whatnot.
Yeah, you need them for the P's and the B's. Trust me, I've tried ventriloquism. That is quite the trick.
So it's been like an hour and a half or so. It's 90 minutes. And this has been a fun one. So we'll figure things out of whether we're going to watch, Thanksgiving 3 or the horror movie Thanksgiving. And that whole thing. So next week will be a Talking to the Void. And we will officially be in turkey season.
Yay.
Not Christmas.
That means spooky season is over.
I like spooky season.
I like spooky season too, but we've done a lot of horror movies, and I want to get to something different.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from just doing like a horror, like a Halloween comedy movie tier.
It's not my fault you never tried to find a horror Star Trek.
I did, and there isn't a whole lot
here.
Yes.
The fact that you just have not sat down and had your own Hallmark movie marathon, you have nobody to blame but yourself. But also the fact that you've not just sat down and had a Hallmark movie marathon, I kind of respect you for that.
Yeah. No, it's more we are most of the people that are on Never Watch Alone are Star Trek fans. We are most of us Star Trek fans, and we have not done a Star Trek movie yet.
BG not happening because I refuse to watch Twilight.
I watched Twilight before, and I will open limit to that because it got me laid.
Oh, I give my dad shit about that because he's been like, I won't watch chick flicks and whatnot because he gave me shit for what he was trying to give me shit because like I've watched He's Just Not That Into You, which is a fucking hysterical movie. Last I can remember and whatnot. But then I'm like, wait, you sat down and watched all of the fucking Twilight movies? Like I understand you were watching it with a friend's daughter. because she wanted to watch them and like her parents wouldn't watch them or some
Say,
shit.
I
But
will
that's still
admit
just
to have
weird.
watched all of them, but between Oldest Daughter and Mrs. Forge,
I don't knock people for watching them. I was just saying it
No,
got me late, so I watched them.
I give people shit for them because I think it's funny, and I only give specific people shit for them. I mean, it's almost as bad a literature as like 50 Shades of Grey, but 50 Shades of Grey is absolute dog shit.
well,
Because it's
50
a
Shades,
Twilight fan fiction.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's a bad Twilight fanfic.
I
So you,
both
you take
read
whatever.
and go ahead.
Go ahead, Angela.
I both read and watched all of the Twilight series.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you watched 50 Shades or read 50 Shades, and I was like,
I every once in a while am tempted to watch 50 Shades of Grey. I attempted to read 50 Shades of Grey. It's not
oh, I
ever
still remember talking
happened.
to
It's an awful book.
when I was in New Mexico talking to a guy whose his wife went through there, and I said 50 Shades of Grey is not a love story, and she says yes it is. I went, no, it's not. The guy
No, it
claiming that he's
isn't.
fucked up because his mom is a whore does not make it a fucking love story.
It is literally
Cult
it's a
indoctrination.
Harlequin romance.
No, it's cult indoctrination.
No, it
It,
is it's actually abuse,
Mhm.
the book.
yeah,
It is definitely not
and
BDSM.
it's Abuse the Book, Bad Twilight Fan Fiction Edition.
But we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, everyone has a good Halloween. Everyone has the things they're doing on like Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and the Saturdays, and
All the
All of
days.
the
all of the days except for I think we all take Tuesday off.
We all take Tuesday and Friday off, honestly.
I mean, you tend to either to join Sanguine on that whole thing.
That's true.
I take a Friday off unless I'm on one of my alter egos.
Yes. So Scribe joined the Forge Collective.
Oh, Scribe joined the Forge Collective months ago.
Oh no. Oh god. I'm the only
As
one
far
that's not
as
a Forge.
as far as the lords go, only Satsu's not been subsumed.
I'm the only one here that's not been consumed. Oh Lord.
No, because technically I haven't, because Will was on that day already beforehand, and I was still on for a while.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I think I was. I
think you
almost
were
think that I
tardy that
was
day.
you for for either a corner or a Jackbox.
Not that I'm aware of, because both the ones for Jack, or any of the ones for Jackbox, when
Not you, Rod.
Tier.
You could have been me for because I'm always there.
I think that you missed a Clippers United though.
Nope, I've never missed a Clippers. If I was going to be on Clippers, I was going to be on Clippers.
Maybe not. Memory gets vague after a while.
Like quite literally, I say this with all sincerity. Will you have never consumed me? Because anything I've ever done and made a promise to be on, I've been on.
Okay.
I'm Tie-Dye Mantis. I'm a stream whore.
But hopefully everyone has a good day or good week and whatnot. It is Halloween this week, so if you're going to dress up for work or whatnot, cool. I am still not looking forward to not this Friday, but next week Friday. I got to fucking go in early.
3 more days till Halloween.
Halloween.
3 more days till Halloween.
Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
I gotta pull up. Say I still have to do my review. I love. I've been dropping that in the comments each time, hoping that Kefki would pick it up, just because I know she'd sing it, and Mitch would have a fit.
Because he fucking hates that one.
And yes, I am that kind of person.
But all right, everyone.
Oh God, Will. Sorry.
So before we get out of here, we'll do the final thoughts of the movie and would you recommend tier go.
Yes, I would recommend, and it's good for what it is. It's sad because everyone that you like fucking bites it.
Except for the dickhead, it's good when he dies.
Well, yeah, it was good when he dies. He deserved the
And
worst death.
I completely forgot
honestly.
this one. It is kind of funny how it's like he gives Anne, permission to blow his brains out if he's one of them, and she's like, "Oh,
And
I
she
will,"
says she definitely will.
and she
And then
gets
she
to do
does.
it.
Yeah.
In the business, we call that foreshadowing.
Hmm.
Okay, Angela.
I really enjoy this movie. Yes, I would recommend it.
And Will?
Would recommend to anyone not easily offended, because I know some people that would they would shut it off 5 minutes into it, and that's up to them. And watch it because everybody that you hate or thinks makes a stupid decision. Well, most ones make a stupid decision, and
Everyone
you hate
makes a
dies.
stupid decision.
It's stupid decision in the movie.
Quick, before we leave, I have to comment on this thing that BG said. It's always funny listening to people that are into BDSM rant on 50 Shades.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not even like super into it. It's just I know it's trash.
I know it's trash because
have
it's a
to
chick
say,
flick.
the reason that I tried to read it was because I am one of those people that rants about how awful 50 Shades is and how badly it reflects on the BDSM community. But my roommate absolutely loved it. She took notes and had post-its in the copy that she gave.
Oh
And
Lord,
And let me
Is
guess.
that when you tell her this isn't actually BDSM?
Yes.
you let her down gently. You
So,
know.
have you also asked her how many times you've been tied up, ball gagged, and had something in your butt?
I'm not going to ever do that to her.
You are nicer than me.
Also,
Clearly
I'm
you are.
very terrified that I might get an answer.
Usually for those from what I've seen, the type of women that romanticize this would be like, "Oh, I've never done that. If a guy tries putting his finger in my butt, I'm gonna get mad at him." But with a finger in the butt, we're gonna call this one a day.
With that, we're going to step away now.
But I will still say, yes, I do recommend this movie. It's not the greatest in my opinion, but it's not terrible. I wish they would have went with the slow moving zombies, but they kind of copied what was done in 28 Days Later, which was done the year prior. But it is still a fun movie and not done entirely terrible. Plus, you obviously have the what is it, the Vegas version or whatever it's supposed to be done of lounge version of Down with a Sickness in there.
Oh, so good.
Down with the sickness.
So
Come
we're
on and
gonna
get down with the
we're gonna get out of
sickness.
here, folks. Have a good one. Take it easy. Latest. Say bye.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Night.
Get down with the sickness.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.